6 pounds. Welcome back, everybody, to my channel. I got 6 pounds of Taco Bell here that I'm gonna eat during this Thursday Truth video. Hope you don't mind. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Anyway, today's subject is gonna be sports betting and sports betting becoming more like mainstream, right? Like 5 years ago, sports betting was very niche, right? Not bad. This is the first time I've had Taco Bell in like 8 months. But sports betting has become very mainstream, and I was wondering what everybody thinks about that. Myself, I'm really not a fan. I prefer the days when sports betting was not mainstream and a lot more of like a niche, more like cult-like following. Now, I don't want you guys to think that I disagree with sports betting becoming more and more legal nationwide. That's not the argument I'm making. I think it should be legal nationwide, but at the same time, it feels like sports betting is becoming a bit overboard when it comes just how much it's being pushed these days on the general public. Hello? But I just feel that sports betting becoming more mainstream kind of like has washed away the appeal. And I wonder if it's a good thing for the bettor out there, because the more people who are out there betting means the sharper the markets are going to be. And I feel like that with sports betting becoming more and more mainstream, that these books out there are stepping up their game when it comes to odds making, setting the right lines, and making sure the markets are sharp enough to where they can't really be exploited. Now, one thing I think that the normalization of sports betting and the legalization of sports betting nationwide in the United States is a positive is that it prevents people from depositing money into shady overseas books. I think that's a positive. Nothing against the overseas books that do it right, like Pinnacle, but there's just too many shady clip shot joints out there when it came to overseas betting. But I'm curious as to what all of you think about sports betting becoming more mainstream in this country. Like myself, I preferred it when it was more niche, more of a cult-like thing, when you had to go to Las Vegas to bet or sign up for a shady offshore sports book. I'm not really a big fan of sports betting being plastered everywhere these days. And you guys know how I feel about sports betting these days. I think, you're pretty much doomed to fail at it. And with sports betting becoming more and more mainstream, that just means a bunch of suckers who are going to sign up thinking they're expert at sports that can win money on it, setting themselves up to fail like lambs to the slaughter. These books know what they're doing. Another issue I have with the mainstreamization, I'm going to call it that, the mainstreamization of sports betting, is how all of a sudden all these betting experts are popping up. Like everybody's a betting expert these days. And all these TV channels, TV shows, YouTube channels, you name it, all of them have these betting experts now. And my question is, what makes these people betting experts? Do they have a proven track record? Like, no offense to Clay Travis or Cousin Sal, but what makes them betting experts? What makes them betting experts? I don't even think there is a such thing as a betting expert. All these guys you see on TV, radio, internet, anyone who claims that they're a betting expert, no matter where you see them, is a fraud. Because if you were honestly in a position to be giving out advice that actually helped, you would not be broadcasting it out to the world. You would keep that tight to the chest. Now, I know what y'all are going to say. You're going to be like, well, you give out advice. My advice is not do this to win at sports betting. My advice is sports betting is probably going to lose you money, so don't do it. But if you insist, here are your opportunities to maybe give you a 0.005% chance of winning as opposed to 0% chance. That's the issue, though. You think the mainstreamization of sports betting would cause these people who insist that they're going to go bet on these games, the average Joe, they would partake in it and they would lose and be like, this isn't worth it, I'm going to stop, and eventually the sports books wouldn't have any more customers. But unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. Here's how it really works in the real world. Like I've said in these videos before, everyone who bets on sports thinks they're an expert. They think they know more than everybody else and they're going to win money. So I don't think enough people are going to get to that point. There's always going to be an endless supply of chumps that are going to go to the sports books putting down money thinking they're going to win. Even if they've lost tons of money over the past however long they've been betting for. They always think this is the day they get it turned around. This is the day they hit that big parlay. This is the day they go on a long-term heater. But overall, the normalization of sports betting reminds me of NIL in college sports. Was it the right thing to do? Yes. But I think it's going to have a negative impact in the long run on sports betting. We're going to reach a point where we're like, college sports were better when there was no NIL. And it's going to be the same way with sports betting, I think. Sports betting was better when it was just localized to Nevada. That's how I feel. I just want to know what everybody else thinks. Are you guys all good with seeing sports betting plastered everywhere these days? Watch an NFL broadcast. You're plastered with Fox Bet, Caesars, blah, 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 everywhere. It's being integrated into the sport itself. Betting kiosks, walking into stadiums, sponsorship deals with sports betting. What do you guys think of all that? I don't know. I liked it better when it was niche. I did. That's just how I feel, and that's the guns I'm going to stick to. Let me know what you guys think. I think this is an interesting subject. I really do. By the way, that was not fun to eat all that. It was fun at first. All right, guys, stay tuned right here to my channel for more sports betting and other related content.